Hello, everyone. Macintosh here. All right, so big update on this world. So I've been working on some toggles for this, and also been experimenting with toggles that are synced through the network. So some of the toggles that you see here in this world are only local, but others are actually synced through the network. I'm going to demonstrate that for you right now. So, major update I made besides the switching over to the DMX system in addition to the audio link system is the ability for the systems to actually be synced through the network. And that took some understanding of Udon. I'm still pretty new to that though. I'm on my training wheels when it comes to Udon. So hooray for YouTube tutorials. Another thing I've done here is I've updated the playlist. And so let me just show you here real quick what playlist we got going. I'll probably just expand the playlist later on. So let me show you. So here and by the way, the world audio is muted for now, so that way you can just focus on my voice. But by the way, if you're curious about what's playing there, that is Alien Hand. So yeah, that is actually a 2012 soundtrack. Or is it a set? I don't remember. It was actually composed by Alien Hand for FanFest in 2012. And so you'll notice that some of the controls here are missing. That is because I relocated them to an administrative world, or not an administrative world, but an administrative area. Now, over there, out there in the distance, where you see like way past the orca that's just flying by, you'll probably notice right there on the top, just parked there by the planet, that is the administrative area. Now that is actually locally visible to the admin. If you are joining into this world, you are an admin, and you don't see that ship out there, that means you haven't actually gone to there yet. It toggles on and stays on. And again, it is local only to the administrator. And if you don't see that ship and you can't access the area, you just won't see it, period. So again, the toggle is local. This is for protection, so that anyone who is trying to sneak their way in, either through PlaySpace or using GoGo Loco to fly over there past the colliders, they won't be able to see it. They won't access the controls. So let me just bring back the camera. All right, so let me just show you how it looks from over there. Let's see here. I have created some toggles, or expanded on the toggles. There is a bit of a bug, a visual bug that's related to the user interface, but the colliders actually do function. So it's like when you click on this, the colliders on these particular couches are disabled, even though the check mark is visibly there. But if I click on couch colliders, it'll still be there, but I am colliding with the couches now. For some reason, the one by the mirror, the one by the social area of the couches, the corner couches, the user interface is working just fine. I don't know what's causing that to work, but the others did not. So I'll figure that out. All right. So at the end of this corridor over here, that's in the DJ area. I just click on this. Look at this. So let me give you a nice view. So yeah, look at this. It's also audio linked, of course. By the way, the audio does extend to here. Now, a couple of things you've noticed is this screen over here. This is live, so whatever you're seeing over there in the DJ area is projected here. And so we have the basic controls over here, so I can manipulate the hold up, get this. So I could just manipulate some of the settings here for the audio link lights. Now, another thing I could do, let me reset that, is I could toggle the actual light fixtures themselves. I could disable the audio link lights, as you can see right here, and also toggle the DMX lights separately. And well, they're not working right now because the video that's being played does not have a DMX matrix grid on it. And so the lights are just not going to function properly. So disable that and bring back the audio link lights. I could also disable separately the audio link screens and bring up the screens that support DMX. You'll probably notice the images are like kind of stretched a little bit or distorted. That's to account for the grid matrix that's at the bottom of the screen, as I've explained in my previous video. Now let me just go ahead and disable that and bring back the audio link screens, which just basically normal aspect ratio screens. All right. And also got the sync button and stuff like that. And again, this all right. This area again is local only. So if you're seeing this means you are both an admin and you've been here recently in the same instance. And if you don't see it, then you either are an admin that hasn't visited this area yet in the instance, or you're just not admin at all and you can't have access to the door I just demonstrated. And so, yeah, let me actually show you a interesting thing here. So just imagine this, like you have this epic view over here. Pardon my feather that you see right here. So look at that. There's an epic view right there. It's like of the orca. Look at that. A little trick I made with the lighting is that the nebula is actually not emitting any light whatsoever. I put a light point that's somewhere right above here, somewhere around there, that's lined up with the nebula. I give it the correct hue, and it gives that illusion that the nebula is actually emitting light, which is not. It's just an illusion, a trick that I've done. And also, the scale of this ship is purposefully set in a way to give the illusion of distance and scale of the planet. It's basically similar to what you've seen in Disneyland, where the castle, the famous castle of I think Cinderella or something, or like I forgot which movie that originated from. I think it was Cinderella. That one has the illusion. Wait, let me switch back the camera over here. Damn it. That one was created in a way so that like when you're looking up, certain towers are actually scaled down purposefully to give the illusion of height. And that's what I'm applying here as a principle. It's an optical illusion. And so, other than that, though, I also put colliders at the edge of the ship itself, so that I won't accidentally fall off. Yeah. All right, let me go back. Unfortunately, I didn't put a trigger here for spawning back, so I have to respawn. Another change I made is when you go to the quarters, such as the Caldari quarters, you have access to the same camera here. You just don't have access to the toggles. That's it. This is so that like if you want to chill over here, but you still want to hear the music. And by the way, you can hear the music is just ducked down a little bit, so that way you get a little bit more quiet or peace and quiet if you want. But if it's too loud for you, just simply go onto the world menu, like the audio volume menu, and just adjust accordingly, or just mute it entirely. The same is true for the Glente Merc quarters. Now, one thing I've noticed here is that the Glente Merc quarters, for some reason, I think it's because of the result of the light baking. The couch is almost entirely dark. I'm gonna sneeze. Yeah. Ah, damn it. I think I just smeared. Oh, jeez. I'm gonna have to clean my lip tracker, right? Okay. All right. Yeah. So, besides that, Jesus. All right. All right. The couch collider on this one works just fine. I can disable it and re-enable it, and the user interface works just fine too. Again, I'm trying to figure out the issue with the check mark that's not that's like on some of the other toggles. The check mark is disappearing just fine and coming back. But on some of the other ones, for some reason, it's not working consistently. Like the user interface is borked for some reason, yet the collision function is actually working just fine. All right, let's go back. I also added a couple of a sync or two, an extra sync or two right here, so that when you're spawned in and then like you're hearing that the audio or the video is not working properly, or it's out of sync, just hit this sync button that's right by the information board. And also, I have updated the credit world. I mean, not the credit world, the credit board, so that way you get like all the information you can see about like who was behind which part of the world, who contributed. You also have access. You also have the VRC group information, as well as the discords and my channels. So, like for those of you who don't know, my primary channel is actually on Odyssey.com. Uh, the YouTube channel is actually specifically dedicated to this world, the Dust 514 Event Horizon Lounge. And so another thing I've been doing is actually expanding on this world. In fact, there is a separate world entirely that I created. And so, but I'm gonna showcase that later on, though, another video. That's a work in progress. And the idea behind that is to have actually three different types of worlds. There's there's the main lounge that you see here that's specific to the for DJs. That could it serves as both social and as a DJ venue. The second version is the one that is an all-encompassing one that's much bigger, and I think it's probably going to be like maybe 80 to 90 megabytes. I'm going to try to keep it under 100 megabytes if possible. That one is just specifically dedicated to showcasing EVE Online and EVE Vanguard, as well as the rest of New Eden. And then there's going to be a third version, which is going to be for the War Room specifically. And that's going to be specifically for DJs that want to have a separate venue or like an alternative. So, yeah. Other than that, though, let's see. Oh, yeah. Another thing I've done is updated some of the boards that you see here. Yeah. That's me in EVE Online. That's Gerald Sphinx. This is also a screenshot of the Jita undock. Jita 4, Moon 4, Caldari, Navy assembly plant. And by the way, I found out that my ultra widescreen monitor, which is well beyond the 16:9 aspect ratio, is actually the same aspect ratio as the screens that you see, like the ultra wide screens, not the normal size screens that you see for the video players, but the ones for these like the boards, like the. So yeah, it's like that's pretty crazy. Now, an interesting tidbit though about these boards is these boards were originally used for showcasing tweets. So like back in Dust 514, this world, the Event Horizon Lounge on PlayStation Home was showing live tweets, and so yeah, it's basically live tweets about the game through hashtag back when Twitter was Twitter. Uh, I'm not gonna call it X. Screw that. And the board that was by the other room, which is down this corridor, which was originally a video game room. It was supposed to like the tables that you see that are now functioning as dancer tables with poles on them that you can see right there. Those were actually there was a game called Slay, Slay. It was basically a turn-based strategy game, a mini game practically, and yeah, and now that they've been repurposed. But the info board that's right next to the tables would showcase a leaderboard, see who had the highest score. Now, the issue with the game was that it kind of broke. It would break after a certain while when you're playing, and it would crash. Yeah, that kind of sucked. But it was a fun mini game. Can't lie. It was just your generic turn-based strategy game. Another change I made over here, you probably noticed the mirror here. It's much taller. I moved it a little bit more forward so that it's not like intruded into by the couch. Um, I could improve on the lighting though, but that would depend on the avatar that you have. Some avatars look pretty well in the dark, others don't. So that depends on what shader they are using. So yeah, another thing that I found that works now is that the toggles for the lights they not only work through the network, and they're also synced to late joiners, people who join into the instance late. And so they will see the changes that are made live. Another change I made around here is the booth, where certain like the booth still has a collider, but parts of it are collidable. Like you can collide with parts of it, but others. This is on purpose because some DJs they would prefer to like lean over, like when you're being a DJ and you want to like pretend like you're leaning over, looking at the controls. Your headset might because VRChat, the way how it works is like it tracks the position of your head, and sometimes like the collider of your avatar follows where your head is at. And so if you lean a little bit too forward, you might your avatar might hop right over the console. And so to mitigate that, this section of the booth is actually non-collidable. And so you can just like be right here up close and personal, and yeah, and you don't have to worry. On top of that, like because there's a collider right over here, you don't have to worry about people who are just gonna just pass right through right in front of you either. So yeah, that is generally it. Oh, and I've also lit up the hallway here. That's another thing I did. I had to rebake the lights. The hallway is a little bit more lit, so that way it's not looking completely dark. It looked much darker now. It looks much darker now than in the very early version of the lounge, just because of the post processing that's being implemented into this world. And so I had to add more area lights and adjust them so that they could be a little bit more lit in this hallway. So because before you couldn't even see the floor. It's like now you can see the floor. So yeah, that's it though. Hope you guys enjoyed that. And as usual, fly safe.